first we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, for God and country. All right. So first we'll look to approve tonight's agenda. Are there any modifications to the agenda tonight? All right. Council, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as is.
So, I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And agenda approved. Next, we'll look at the consent agenda items, the accounts payable and claims, previous meeting minutes, resolution 2024-15, and the financials. Are there any questions with the consent agenda items tonight? If not, I'll entertain a motion on consent agenda items.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And consent agenda approved. Next, we'll open it up for a public hearing regarding 2, 4, 5 properties here. Logison Court, Dale Court. Let's see. Yeah, let's start the public hearing. This is in regards to an ordinance regarding trimming of the properties. I believe the property owner is here.
Yes, I am.
Excellent. All right. Would you like to introduce yourself and then we'll talk about the property here?
Well, my name is Daniel Petzinger, and I do own the properties out at the said addresses of the properties of what you have spoken.
Excellent. All right. It looks like the ordinance that is being cited is section 92.38. All property owners shall be responsible for the removal, cutting, or disposal and elimination of weeds, grasses, and rank vegetation or other uncontrolled plant growth on their property, which at the time of notice is in excess of 6 inches in height. I believe you stated that it did not apply, or how do you see?
Well, before we get started with this formal hearing, I would like some general understanding of a few items, if we may.
Absolutely.
Is the city's codification manual, which is not signed nor dated, published on the city's website, the policies, procedures, and codes that we're citing today?
Correct. Yes, I believe it was signed and approved. Do we have a date on when we signed and approved it?
I don't know on that.
It was
Off the top of my head, no.
There is not one online.
all
So
right.
I just wanted to verify that that is the one that we're going with.
Correct. Yep.
Yep, let me speak up.
Mhm.
That may not be, because what's online is not the official. We do not have to put the official one out online, that's a courtesy. Official copies would be in the clerk's office.
Unfortunately, with your publishing it on the online, you are required to publish the actual ordinances or codes of which is currently established. And if that is your statement, then the codes that are online are the ones that we're going by under this hearing. Is that approved?
Fair enough. Yep. Are there any differences? Do we know between the
Or
official?
tell them without seeing them, looking at them.
All right. I think it's fair. We run with that assumption. Yes.
Okay. The other second part of the clarification before we get started is when it comes to this codification manual, are there any codes that anyone is allowed to be grandfathered?
I would imagine yes. Building codes. I would assume.
Okay, which
yes.
ones are they?
Oh, very good question. Have you relayed these questions to the city office for clarification?
I have been in contact with the city office and I got the same answer of nothing back. So,
All right.
therefore, since this is a hearing concerning codification,
Can
and I want a
put it in
clarification
again,
on
please?
this.
Mayor,
And this is my hearing and this is my time to speak. And when I get
Mayor.
done speaking, then the deputy clerk may speak.
It is the public hearing. I think.
it's the wrong one. This meeting, this section hearing is about the weeds, not
Correct.
about the codification. That's on the next agenda, which is on the agenda item, 2 down, what Dan's referred to. It's not
Unfortunately,
up
this is considered a public hearing on a codification issue, and I want clarification on the
there. Look at
codification.
your agenda.
And so
Dan.
unfortunately, this is not your hearing, Mr. Skibingal. This is my hearing that I got called into. And so I have a right to speak under the constitutional rights that I have in a hearing that you guys called.
Look at
And so
your
therefore,
agenda.
I have a right to ask about the codification of this manual before we proceed. And that is what I'm doing. Is there objections to that from the council?
As far as you being allowed to speak?
Being able to ask the questions concerning the codifications that
Absolutely.
we're
we
talking
can-
about?
Yep, we can ask the questions, whether we have the answers, again, yes, we will talk, yep.
This is a hearing about codification, so
Mhm.
this is a hearing on it, which means this is a tribunal court, which means that you guys should have been prepared for any questions concerning the codification. So, with that being said, I will move on. Now that this is the official hearing, and this is going to be some questions and answer section, the city has failed to provide and serve me with a copy of the signed written complaint in accordance with the codification manual, chapter 92.39, filing a complaint. In that there is no signed written complaint filed with the city treasurer.
All right, go on.
Is there one?
Is there a signed written complaint from the treasurer? That's your question?
That is filed with the treasurer / clerk's office.
We have the complaint, we have the meeting minutes, signed written complaint, is that available? If not, no worries.
Yeah,
All right.
you mean what started, yeah.
So if that's the case, why was I not issued a copy of the complaint? I have a right to know who my accuser is, and I have the right to see all evidence against me, and you have the responsibility to share all evidence with me for preparation for this hearing. Then, as a matter of this procedure and due process, I would now publicly and on record challenge your right to even hold such a hearing, and that you have not provided me with a copy of any demand for corrective action as per your codification manual number 10.90, subsection E2, establishment of remedies to enforce the City of Ellendale's codes, in which the letter of codification violation that I did receive has not been signed, nor does it have the amount of potential administrative fine as your ordinance states. Was one issued?
Have you received any correspondence from the city?
I have, that's why I'm here.
Exactly. In that, did it not detail out which violations we found?
The
What
violations
the
are in
remedy
this,
is? Yep.
but there's no signature on this document, and there is no potential administrative fine on this document, which is in violation of your own city codes, of which I just stated. Secondly, and also publicly stated and a matter of record, I challenge under due process and under violation of your own codification manual, your ability to hold such a hearing today, in that I have not received such a copy or anything, including, quote, a destruction order, unquote, in which must be mailed by a certified mail per the codification manual chapter number 92.40, subsection A, in which I have not received to date yet. You got a destruction order?
A destruction order?
Under 92.40 subsection A, I'm required to get a destruction order under your own codification manual. Did I receive one?
Did you receive one?
No, I didn't.
All right. Yep.
So are we continuing this hearing? Because right now you're in violation of my constitutional right.
Any input on that? Yeah.
Shall we continue with this hearing?
I think we should wait till we can have our own lawyer here so that we don't make a statement that we might.
That is fair.
So let's
We will close the
have him
hearing.
come back next month.
All right. yes, we will review our process. I appreciate you attending and pointing these things out. So we will close this public hearing regarding the properties listed and the ordinance 92.38. Thank
So-
you.
Could you just clarify the official reason why you're stopping the meeting? Because it was a little, I couldn't understand what you were saying. It sounded like you were trying to avoid something rather than, could you just clarify why you're stopping the hearing,
I don't
please?
think we need to.
I don't have